up, gigglers?
Gary, fix the Wi-Fi.
Manifest that shit.
We can't be managed. I mean, the day just got away from me.
Hello, my Nepo babies. My little Nepo babies.
I just love saying Nepo baby, but I will say, remember like a couple months ago and I was like, the word nepotism makes me think of a frog. Do you remember that? I haven't changed my stance on that. Like, I don't know why I think of like a lizard.
I see that. This is the thing. If you want to make someone feel bad, you can't give them such cute of a name. Like Nepo baby.
Yeah, little Nepo babies.
We have a chaotic thing of notes.
Yeah,
It's gotten to the point where gigglers will DM me their notes for the next week to talk about. And sometimes
Like-
I'll be like, it's on the notepad. Don't worry. We got it. But anyway, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Where is Des? Is he out of the country?
Des is with his other family in Ireland. He literally goes, hey, I'm busy with my other family. And I'm like, you know what? At least you're not an absent father.
Communication is key.
Communication is key. Hot take. People will always be like, if you want a successful relationship, you need to communicate. Bitch, you don't think everyone communicates with each other? It's about the fact that you have shit ways of communicating.
I feel the opposite. I think successful marriages and relationships are just don't speak as little to each other as possible. Like, that's why I'm in long distance. Like, if I don't want to talk to him, do not disturb on my phone. And like, I wake up happy as a clam.
Wait, you actually have such a point.
Just don't talk.
If you have an issue, just don't bring it up.
You talk to your therapist about it first. And then now that Craig's in therapy, he's like constantly referencing therapy. And he tried to bring something up the other day to me. I can't even remember what it was. I think it was like an old fight that we had that like we ended the fight basically on like agree to disagree. Like we're never gonna. And I said, I was like, now what I'd like you to do is when you want to talk to me about something, think twice, bring it up to your therapist first, and then come to me.
Okay, this is my question. Do you think Craig's therapist likes you?
Yes. Like, I would love for my therapist to have one session with Craig.
Therapist swap. That's the new show. Therapist swap.
Hannah, literally trademark it. Patent it.
Oh
I
my
think in
God.
Craig's therapy sessions, I am the hero because there have been times there have been times where Craig's like, my therapist says that I was wrong and I apologize for like, and I'm like, thanks.
And you're like, yes, therapist. Yes.
yeah, little does he know I've been paying his therapist off. They're very easily bought. So
You go, did you miss this week? And he's like, how do you know? And I'm like, well, you know, I did pay for this week, but that's crazy.
my Venmo went down.
Yeah, one of my exes told me that his therapist said he feels nervous because I'm the first healthy relationship he's been in. And I'm like, okay, you're gaslighting him. He's nervous because he's a fuckboy and he doesn't feel comfortable in a relationship. And I trapped him.
I think about therapists and I feel like we put so much like into them in terms of like anything they say to us, we're like, that's gold, or like that's like we put so much pressure on them. And then I remember that my therapist is like my age kind of, and I'm like maybe like a few years older than me, and I'm just like, if someone was giving me all of these problems, I'd be like, bitch, I don't fucking know, take a Xanax, go to sleep. That is crazy.
You know, whenever your therapist like kind of says something about their life because they're feeling comfortable with you, and then you're like, no, I don't want, nope.
Like
She's like, once I dated a guy and I'm like, nope, you are not a real human.
You know what should be a reality show? Everyone's therapy sessions right after like Christmas and New Year's. Like, because don't you go and like, I hung out with my family for a week and they're amazing and I love them, but
Obsessed.
I would be lying
Triggered.
if I didn't write things down and say, must discuss with my therapist.
Going home to your parents is a refresh of things you forgot to bring up in therapy. Bring your fucking notepad, bitches.
No, literally.
It's time to go.
Write it down.
Oh, God. Okay, so Paige and I have been talking about, like, a lot of people, they create brands, like, long-term, and I've always been entrepreneurial. Like, I've always loved and made little bracelets on the beach and shit. I thought of what my brand would be.
What would it be?
Actually, guess.
Like, what product are you selling?
Yeah. that I'm passionate about.
It could go so many ways. It could go so many ways.
You're like, Lactaid medication? Cool Lactaid.
No, like the first thing I thought was like underwear that you could throw away. Is that what it is?
Granny panties. Granny panties. Wait,
Hannah!
I can't believe you got that. We just had a Cheez-It moment.
Oh my fucking God. How do
You're
we
such
do
a
that?
witch. You're a literal witch.
I'm a
I'm
witch.
scared of you. I'm so scared of you right
And
now.
I literally, Hannah, as you were finishing it, something like popped in my head and I was like, it's throwaway. It's underwear that you can like shit yourself in.
Actually, that's an amazing idea. I was just thinking how like everyone's always like, Hannah, what granny panties do you wear? And I put them on Amazon to this generic like cheap granny panty, and I'm like, no. And there's like cool brands out there, but they're not the granny panties I want. I want like the most comfortable.
Yep.
Like, and let's be honest, thongs, if that's your thing, yeah, but not everyone wants to wear a thong.
I don't own a pair of granny panties.
And you're the one with the UTIs, so
That. Do you think that's why I get UTI so much? Because like my literal underwear is going like rubbing from my asshole to like my vagina.
1,000%.
But actually, I've done so many studies and research that
Sorry, just imagined you in a lab.
not tested on animals.
You're like, this lab coat is so chic.
Yeah,
Do
I
you have
love a lab
in a
coat.
set? Do you have a set in this lab coat? Can you make it cropped?
What's your stance on mini skirts in the OR? So open-toed shoes are definitely a no, right? Not even a peep toe?
A kitten heel?
Oh God. I want to like
Anyway.
play a doctor on like a show or something.
But also, it would be like breathable, just like the perfect, comfortable granny
love it.
panty.
I
Also,
love
think
it.
about all these girls who are working out.
Mhm.
Are girls wearing thongs to work out? Because you should not. I know
No, I think girls are wearing no underwear.
they're wearing no underwear, which I don't know is great.
I
But,
don't
like,
understand how girls do that though. Like if I'm wearing no underwear,
My
like,
pubes are coming out. My pubes are sticking out of the little sewing holes.
but like I don't wear underwear to bed because I feel like you gotta like let it breathe. But if I don't wear underwear with like leggings, I'm like wet all day. Like like it's so uncomfortable. Like I hate
No,
it.
like there has to be separation between church and state.
Yes. No, like- yes.
I also don't need the hem like inside my vulva. Like the hemline. I'm like, ow, ow. I'm also like very sensitive. Like
is-
any hemline, I'm like, ah.
This is such a graphic situation, but I feel like it's very important to like relationships. I don't know if like any of Craig's ex-girlfriends like ever like got undressed and like if he ever saw their clothes. Like I don't know, but I do know that like one time I took my underwear off and like there was like obviously like white like discharge, and he kind of looked at me like, oh my God, like with an excited look, and I was like, what? Like I just stared back at him. He was like, are you like horny? Like, do you want to? And I was like, no, this is just like my underwear. Like after the day, like we have things constantly coming out of us
Amy
and then
Schumer
going
calls
inside
it the spider
of
webs.
us.
You have spider webs.
And he,
Well, also, Paige, recently we are just using them as pads. So like my period is
is full on.
and I have all kind of colors. Wait, so do you not wear a tampon with a thong?
No, I do.
But you know when we take our tampons out and we give up, are you wearing thongs?
Yeah.
That
I'm
that's a risk.
mischievous.
That
I'm
is
going,
living
yeah.
life on the edge because
I'm
I'm
like, let's
full
see.
granny panty. It's cupping.
I'm still like cupping.
Okay. I mean, look at me acting like I don't know how vaginas work.
I like that we like inserted the term cupping into something that's like so.
You're like, I'm cupping. Are you cupping?
So like Craig had no idea that like things are just coming out, and he literally thought in his male pea brain that I was just horny all day, and I was just like, what?
I would be like, yeah, I just came and I'm done. I'm done.
You
I'm
missed your
literally
moment.
done.
I literally made myself come from standing here 5 seconds on my own, silent.
We have so much to go through. First of all, I tried to go to bed early, and next thing you know, I went to bed at 3 a.m. because I got on Scar Girl TikTok.
What does that mean?
Oh my God, you don't know about Scar Girl TikTok?
No.
Oh my God. So there's this like adorable college girl who she
Sorry,
had a
I'm
scar.
on Baylor Rush TikTok right now.
I'm nowhere near it.
Oh, yeah. Well, wait to hear about it. Okay, so there's this girl who has a scar.
So she has this scar, like all a pretty aggressive scar all along her face.
Okay.
And it started to heal.
Mm-hmm.
But you could still kind of see it, but it started to heal. It got like light pink. And then one day she shows up and it's like a dark brown. And it's like really apparent. And people are like, what's going on? And she's like, oh, like self-tanner. Like she starts giving all these excuses. And then people start getting obsessed that like Scar Girl's faking her scar. So I was like, okay, well, I will not send you to small claims court until I do proper research.
Your due diligence.
By due diligence. So I go all the way back. And people are like, they're doing these like side to sides of like the shape is different. It's a different lane.
Wait. I did see one of these TikToks because I just saw a girl measuring scars and I was like, scroll, what are you doing?
People are going insane.
Yes.
And then but then she's like, every TikTok is her fighting these people, being like, guys. And then she's like wiping it and people are like, she didn't really touch her face. And then her dad went on and was like, her scar is real. Like, it's getting crazy. If these people are attacking this girl for a real scar, like that is so fucked up and abusive. People are basically like, when it started to heal, she started to lose engagement and she just kind of, she wanted to keep, it's like the only thing that like she had was her scar. So Scar Girl TikTok is crazy pants.
How old is Scar Girl?
She's like 20, which is why it's like real. She's like crying. She's like, my scar is real. But when you look at the videos, it doesn't look like it's real. And people are like, what scar turns brown like that? Like, it looks like she took a Sharpie and just kind of put it on.
Yeah, because I feel like if she had gotten like a laser or something that like made it darker before.
She was saying she got like burnt from something and she's doing this whole thing. Her explanations were not making sense. But like, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, but it's like, it's hard. So I did that for 3 hours.
I mean, there was a time, you know, the girl that's on TikTok that has Tourette's?
Yes.
There are like so many comments all the time that like she's faking it. And she's had to go on and be like, I'm not faking it.
No.
And people are like, well, you're over exaggerating it. And she's just like, I literally can't. So
Also, that girl is such a hero, like, to raise awareness about having a tic. I
Yeah.
just feel like, because I have a cousin and who has a tic, and there's no one in the media that looks like her, acts like her.
Right.
And everyone loves that girl. She has amazing personality. But
fucking
those are
love
just the
that girl.
haters. But this Scar Girl, something's got to give. People are like, it's either the best con in history.
I can't wait to watch
her.
it later. I love just like people being wild on TikTok. It's such a lawless place.
It really is.
Like, I feel like Instagram has some rules, like unspoken rules. TikTok, lawless.
Well, it's because TikTok goes viral where Instagram really doesn't.
Right.
So, like, anyone could go viral. And honestly, I hate seeing the same 4 people on my timeline on Instagram. I want to meet random new girlies or gays on my TikTok algorithm.
Anyone I follow on TikTok, I never go in the following section. I only am in the For You.
Only For You.
So if I start following you, I literally never see your TikToks ever again.
But I'm an easy follow. If you make me even have a little air come out of my nose from a laugh, follow.
So you know how Alabama Rush was like this massive thing on TikTok and people were like so intense. They got a reality show, I think, that's like going to come out. Girls blew up into like viral influencers from all of the Bama Rush stuff. Their outfits were insane, like so expensive. It was just
They
like,
just like tell other girls they're ugly.
yeah, it was just like a bunch of literally a room full of all blonde girls that don't like you. It's my biggest nightmare. But anyway,
My question is, how has this not been canceled yet? The concept of the concept of like you getting passed on because of like what? Like you're not rich enough.
Alex Earl got passed on for a sorority.
Yes. We
Like,
haven't spoke about
We
yet on the
haven't.
pod.
Do you want to know something? When I went on Pillows and Beer, listen to it if you want to, I guess. I mean, they're okay. No, when I went on Pillows and Beer, I asked both Craig and Austin who Alex Earl was, and they both were like, we don't know. And
Is it because it's like girl TikTok? Like it's a girl TikTok thing?
I actually said it's actually good that you guys don't know who she is because you're 35 and she's 21 and that's illegal. Yeah. Like that's pedophilia. So I'm happy that you guys don't know it. But I am so happy for her just because she does seem really nice, and it does seem like we have this influencer who blew up, who now is going to all of these influencer events and like hanging out with Hailey Bieber and getting invited to these like in crowd like birthday parties, but she still feels very relatable.
Yeah.
What I can't understand is every influencer jumping on her dick. Like, just because you comment on her TikToks or like try and pretend you're friends with her now because she's famous is so weird to me. Like, I don't know this girl.
You can literally see the social climbing going on.
Yeah, I'm
in
like,
the
don't
comments.
comment on her TikToks. Like, that is so weird. You don't know her. You don't know her.
People were obsessed with her. If you don't know Alex Earl, she had like bad acne, I think, and she really was vulnerable and showed how she recovered from it. And she's like hot. She was dating a Yankee, and
she was just like,
whatever.
Does her makeup and tells you stories about what it's like to live in Miami and be a double D with blonde and like go to clubs, and everybody wants to know.
But realistically, like the way she ascended, she even jokes like she doesn't understand. The TikTok algorithm was just like showing her to every single person in the world. And some people like would get nervy. Like I'd be scared to post videos. Like what if this is stupid?
Yes.
Like you go from like 100,000 people seeing it to like 2 million, but she keeps posting. But then people are obsessed with the idea that this girl who like, she's not an actress. She's not a singer.
Right. She's just a normal college girl.
Literally so normal that people become obsessed with how people are obsessed with her.
Yes.
And then people love that like she's getting famous and bringing us on the ride. Like she's like, guys, I just got invited to LA. I met Selena Gomez. So she Miley Cyrus, she's telling everyone, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Now, what I was going to say about...
I know what you're going to say. That when a whole group of people love you and then they decide to not love you anymore, everybody follows. And like at some point, is she going to go through people just being like, fuck you?
Inevitably, already people are starting. You also, when you're overexposed, people get annoyed. And when you're a girl who's really liked, people hate that. So people already joked like, what's gonna be the cancel moment? Who's gonna cancel her? And they found out like she used to like Trump, but then she's like, yeah, I went to college and I learned things, and they try to cancel her for her like political beliefs.
Just like what, you're gonna cancel her for like something she might have said when she was 17?
Yeah, she was like, guys, I didn't even know what politics was.
No, literally. Like she hasn't been alive for that many presidents. Like she
was
just
know. Born.
No, she literally just walked out of the womb.
But what's interesting to me is she kind of blew up originally being like, hey guys, she has a very monotone voice, which I kind of am obsessed with. She's like, hi guys. She always looks like she wants to fall asleep. Hey guys, I went to an influencer party in LA and influencers are really mean. This was like before she blew up. Yeah. She was like, I went to this DJ booth and these girls who like I kind of thought were cool online were just like treating me like shit, all this stuff. And then she just posted a video yesterday being like, you know, it's hit or miss in LA, but like everyone was like really nice to me. Yeah. And like I really wanted to comment and be like, no shit, they're nice to you now because you have followers.
Yeah, and
like that's literally called LA. You want to work in this town?
And then I think to myself, like, am I so cynical of a person? Which, like, I know I am because multiple people have told me that. But, like, am I so cynical? Or am I just being a fucking realist when it's like, nothing impresses me. Not a single, like, have I done some cool things where I'm like, this is cool. Like, this is fun. But, like, deep down, if I never did it or I never got to do it again, I'd be like, okay. Like,
we're having a mental health moment right now.
Yeah, like I don't know. I would tell people
me and you have have done some fucking crazy shit in our lives.
Yeah.
Like things that like we dreamed of being on TV, and we were on TV.
Yes.
And I want to let people know this. You think if you get something that
Yeah.
you are going to change. Like once I go to this event or I'm friends with these people, like I'm going to be a new person. Life makes sense.
That's why it's a meme. Like once I lose 10 pounds and like clear up my acne, like it's over for you bitches. Like it's, yeah, everyone thinks
You're
that,
literally
but it's not.
the same. You feel the same way. You don't become a different person when this stuff happens.
Right.
And you get these temporary highs, but
Yes.
temporary highs aren't happiness. I watched this Jim Carrey documentary called Jim and Andy. And he has this moment where he said he's a manifester.
Yeah.
And he manifested, he goes, I want to be the most famous actor in the world. And he saw a psychic. And a psychic said, you're going to do 3 movies very soon that are going to make you the biggest actor in the world. And within the next like year, he did like The Mask and like 2 other movies, like his biggest movies.
Pet Detective, I think, is one of them.
And he goes, so I was sitting there and I was the most famous actor in the world with 3 movies, star of everything. And he goes, and I was still unhappy. And then you get even more unhappy because you go, wait, you're not chasing anything anymore. You got what you were chasing and it didn't answer your problems.
Yeah.
So long story short, there's no meaning in life and we're all leaves floating in the breeze. Thanks for giggling with us. Thanks for giggling with us.
I also feel like this is why like every boyfriend I've ever had is like you're so cold, because like I just feel like guys will say things that like they think will make them look cool, or you'll think it's cool, where like get in the habit of your boyfriend telling you something and you saying, is that supposed to impress me? Because like,
I love that energy.
Because
I
like
love that
then
Scorpio
I feel like
energy.
it brings them right down to like, yeah, I'm trying to act like something. Like just be fucking for real. So,
Be fucking real.
Be fucking
real
for real.
recognize real.
Yes.
Stop with this fake shit. Speaking of Craig and I don't DM that often.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm more. I don't know. I don't like slide into his DMs that often because I feel like he's like business. He's very business on Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
He's
like
always
when his
posting
I don't. What
sewing
am I going to
down
respond to like his like pillow post? Like I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm not going to be like good job.
Keep it.
But a giggler sent me a meme that I was like, I have to DM Craig. And it's this girl, Sleepy M1, wrote, fuck wine tasting, is soup tasting a thing? Trying loads of soups with fresh bread, please, anyone else? And I sent it to him and he goes, this is an amazing idea. And I said, your next venture, LOL.
Dude,
Imagine.
I walked into the living room the other day. All of a sudden, there's just like all these pots and pans. And I'm like, what is going on? And he looks at me and he goes, I'm going to start making soup.
Wait, did this happen?
Yes. He like got all these like massive, I'm like, a soup for what? 500 people? This is an insane pot. You don't need, he's like, I'm going to make all the soups in this.
He has such a creative side to him.
Yeah,
Do not make fun
he
of
does.
his soup endeavor.
No, I've
'Cause you
never made fun
know,
of the soup endeavor.
I feel like he's one of those people that if someone tells him he can't do it, he will
He has-
spend his whole life
Yeah,
trying to
he
do
has
it.
different manifestation powers that I would never tangle with.
But I do understand that, like, you know, when you get a bowl of soup and you're kind of like, yeah, these couple bites were good, but like now I want a different bite. Like
Yeah.
I don't like the same flavor for like 30 minutes. That's why I like
get it.
pasta. I'm like, do you want the pasta? Do you want the meat in the pasta, the broccoli in the pasta?
Yeah, and
Anyway,
I'm like, if I'm gonna eat soup, I at least need a fucking cracker on the side.
kegs. They should have like soup kegs. Also, does he just like pee all fucking day? How does he just drink alcohol and soup all day?
Craig pees all day. Yes, that's true. Also, his cholesterol's high as fuck because all he's drinking is
Oh my God.
sodium in soups.
We can bond over that.
Yeah, I literally made him go to the doctor, both of you. I made him go to the doctor because I was like, your cholesterol is definitely so fucking high. I've dated you for a year now. I know how much salt you eat. You have to go get it checked.
I almost divorced Des the other day.
Why?
We were driving on the highway, the LIE, if anyone knows, and he was like, let's get somewhere to eat. And he's like very productive with his directions, you know, like we can't go off the beaten path too far or like
Right.
it's a problem. We're like, I don't even know where the path is, so I never care.
That literally, oh my God, you just described your personality so perfectly. Like if someone was like, let's go eat 20 miles out of the way, you'd be like, okay. Like that's so you.
Like something about me not doing admin actually like ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
Where he's like, okay, well that's gonna take us another 30 minutes.
Right.
So, but that I feel like successful relationships are when you have different kinds of anxiety. Like he gets real like road anxiety. Like, oh, like Waze said this. I'm on my phone.
You're a passenger
princess.
Yes.
If we were both stressed about it, that would like be a fight. He will just go and I'll be like, yes, baby, a good choice. Like I don't even know what planet we're on. So anyway, I decide I need Taco Bell. And like when you need Taco Bell, there's nothing that's going to like replace it.
Right.
I have a craving. I know what I want. I want Taco Bell.
If you get a hankering.
It's fucking Long Island. There's 4 billion Taco Bells on Long Island. So we have to find all these different Taco Bells. Finally, I'm like, this is the one. And he goes, is it worth it getting off the highway for Taco Bell? And you know when someone asks you a question that you're like,
Yep.
I mean,
so you don't, my immediate thought is, so you don't love me. So you don't love me? You're not gonna drive to get something that you know is gonna make me happy that literally what? Changes your day by 20 minutes? You don't love me.
Does a cheesy gordita crunch make you feel nothing inside? No. He literally, though the exact words, well, I got him to get off, and he goes, Taco Bell's not worth it. Mind you, this is 10 minutes. This is 10 minutes off the highway, and we're not late for anything.
Remember when Taco Bell like personally endorsed us?
Well, Taco Bell, we love Taco Bell. I love Taco Bell so much.
Wait, where were you going?
We were going to my parents.
Oh,
like, they were like, come whenever. Yeah. But he goes, is Taco Bell worth it? And I immediately felt like really alone.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
You know, when you just start feeling like he doesn't understand you.
Yep.
You question kind of every interaction you've ever had.
Yeah.
And then he fucking loved it. He was like shoving it in his face. And I sat there kind of like, you're welcome, but now I don't trust you. And you live in the same apartment as me.
I think the number one frustrating thing about being a woman is, no, seriously, is that like you will tell a man something and their immediate reaction is like, no, that's not right. No, that's no. And then however long it takes, and then you kind of are just like, okay, like if that's what you think, like, okay, you almost like feel a little defeated and you kind of like get quieter and step back. In the coming days, hours, weeks, whatever, when they come back to you and say, you know, we should probably do this, or like you were right, and like it is such a feeling that you're like, yeah, why would I ever doubt myself? Because you're a fucking idiot. I literally was about to
say, dumb. Maybe we could have saved 4 days of you making me, are you gaslighting me?
Yep, gaslighting. And then like when the thing happens, they're like, you were so right. Like there have been so many things with Craig's house and I'm like, we should do this. And he's like, no, I'm not doing that. And then like, he's like, I think we should do it. You know what right. It is? And I'm like,
you plant seeds. And I definitely do that with Des, where I'll say something and he'll be like, no, but you can tell that like, you think he didn't listen, but he did.
Yeah. And like, I think their egos are like deep down, men don't want to express
admit that women are right.
Yeah. That like we are the smarter species, but they can't say it, but we both know it.
There was a really funny New York Times article about, oh my God, what is her fucking name? It was so funny. Audrey Tullinger was like, they're doing this trend on TikTok with couples being like, how we make our relationship work. And it cuts to being like, I'm always right. Yeah. And she's like, I don't mean to be a bitch right now. And I don't normally do videos like this, but like, it's so annoying. It's like doing those memes where it's like, how much orange juice I put in my mimosa, and it's like a little bit, and she's like, you guys hate each other. Like you're not always right. You guys are yelling and crying and screaming all the time. So stop with these fake ass like I'm always right. Because I'll be honest, in my relationship, I'm not always right. Des and I have like gotten better at like even learning how to say sorry to each other.
Just thinking about like, imagine ever being like. Imagine ever saying to Des and Craig, like, okay, I'm going to start the TikTok, and on this line, you say, yeah, for sure. Like,
they are so untrainable, but I think that's why we like them. If I had a guy who would like do all my TikToks, I feel like that's
no. Or what about the TikToks where they have it like the guy the guy is straight up acting, and he like trying to act like he doesn't know what the girlfriend's doing, and the girlfriend's like doing something crazy, and he like hugs her out of nowhere. I'm like, no fucking way.
Imagine if I went up to Des and I go, Des, I'm gonna do a dance,
Yes.
and you keep it towards your face, and you react to my dance.
Yeah.
He'd be like, I'm fucking watching golf right now. I'm not
Like
fucking watching
real
you stupid
couples
dance.
don't do that.
I
Don't
do
that.
think that there has to be a behind the scenes of mommy bloggers and Instagram couples. Now whenever anyone has a long paragraph on Instagram about their relationship, it gets sent to me.
Yeah.
And the gigglers want me to be like, TikTok, it's only gonna last for so long.
Yeah, the long paragraphs are just, they keep me going though, you know?
Okay, I think we should do some front page news.
Okay, let's get into it.
How much do you know about the Miley video?
Nothing.
What?
The Miley video?
The new Flowers video by Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, I didn't. Oh, the one that she released on Liam's birthday. I didn't watch it.
Okay, I'm about to blow your fucking mind.
Okay.
But I also have a complaint. You know how with reality TV you have like a storyline with a guy?
Mm-hmm.
If you bring it up like the next season, everyone's like, get over it.
We're
Get
done
over
with
it. Why
that.
should you keep bringing him up? It's so annoying. Like, move on. It was last season.
Yeah.
Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. Did they get married?
Yeah.
No, they were married. Okay,
Mhm.
they got divorced a decade ago.
Yeah, literally 10 years
ago.
ago.
Which is a lot when you're only like 27 or whatever the fuck she is. It was 10 years ago. And look, I love a little snarky reference. I love a reference.
Love
You can mention it. It's something that happened in your life.
Yep.
She did a full on the pettiest breakup song I've ever seen, to the point that I love it. I'm telling you all, I think it's one of the best songs of the year. However, if I was him, I'd be like, damn, you are obsessed with me.
I completely agree, because when Taylor Swift did like the Red Scarf song, everyone was like, Jake Gyllenhaal fucking sucks and like all this shit. All I could think about was Jake
Him being like,
Gyllenhaal
you still want my dick.
being like,
you want this
why are we bringing this up? Like, yeah, like what? Hop off my dick for a second. Like,
so this is the level of pettiness we're talking about. So Liam Hemsworth dedicated the Bruno Mars song, I Should Have Brought You Flowers.
Yeah.
That song. Which is weird because
wow,
it's a
that
breakup
was
song.
so good.
Wait, did I hit that note?
Oh my
Wait.
God.
Warner. What?
Trigger warning. Hannah's amazing at singing.
I was trying to think of one record label company and I couldn't think of it.
Sony.
Sony? Hello?
Rockefeller Records.
Yeah. Giggly Squad Records. We start our own record business of me doing I should buy you flowers. Oh, I can't do it again. I lost it.
No, you
damn
know
it,
that
I
was
lost it.
Okay, so he dedicates that song.
He dedicated
to Miley.
that to her. I don't know, which is so weird. It's a breakup song, awkward.
Yeah.
She took every lyric of the chorus and reversed it, saying, "I'll buy my own flowers. I don't need to hold your hand." But she changed it to it doesn't sound similar.
Right.
But every lyric is in response to that song. So you're like, okay, that's kind of cool. And then you watch the music video, and it's released on his birthday, which also, like, we're adults. Why do we care about birthdays so much?
Right.
Like,
Ugh.
it's on his birthday. He's not 12 with a fucking party with, like, his mom getting him a cake.
I don't vibe with birthday people.
Yeah, she's
I
like,
don't
it's not
vibe
his-
with them.
She ruined his birthday. Anyway, he's
I
blackout.
don't
He doesn't
vibe
know
with-
what's going on.
Who cares?
So then the music video is a little cray-cray where, like, she's at a mansion in LA and she's just dancing around doing very random weird shit in it, but not random weird where you're like, oh, this is art. You're like, that was very specific.
Okay.
Turns out this house is the house that he rented where he cheated on her with like over 15 women. It's the house, which is iconic. But again, 10 years
Oh, I didn't know
later,
he cheated on her.
I didn't know either. And this may be made up, but I'm going with it because multiple people have said it.
Yep.
Then she starts doing this weird workout in her bikini, and it's not like generic workout. Like, she's doing very specific moves.
Okay.
Where you're kind of like, that was weird. Apparently, it's like his workout that he would do with like TRX.
What? Okay.
Like, she like putting her leg in weird positions. Like, you're like, this isn't art. This is very specific. It is specific. I would be like, okay, so you still memorize my workout routine, getting a restraining order.
My question is, wait. My question is,
a lot of information.
has this been brewing? Has she been working on this for 10 years? Or was someone at her record label being like, come on, Selena's got a documentary, like Britney's going nuts. We need you to have like a moment, something big. Like Taylor Swift just broke the internet selling out shows. We need you to have a really big moment. You never talked about your Liam breakup. You never gave us anything off of it. It kind of went away. We need you to do this.
Wasn't Wrecking Ball all about it?
I don't know. I think the songs she put out after their divorce was more about being like, I am who I am, and I'm like happy, and I'm gonna live my true life. Like we never got like a full breakup.
But imagine if she was on reality TV, the backlash she would get. Like if you talk about someone you had a storyline with a month ago, they're like, get over it.
It's over. It's done. We're moving on.
We're moving on with the scene. We're moving on. So she puts it out. I feel like there's more stuff that was like crazy, but
okay, wait. Are you a Miley like?
No,
me neither.
I respect her, but
some people are like, she's the most beautiful girl I've ever seen in the world, and then I'm like, but have you seen Margot Robbie? Like, I don't know. I'm
my
just
doppelganger.
Yeah.
People in the street are like Margot, and I'm like, I don't speak Australian. Otherwise, I'd go with it. I'd be like, hello, Outback Steakhouse. Yes. Shakira.
Yes, what's going on with her other than like
she's being savage too. I thought she was in jail. Apparently she's not.
I thought she didn't pay her taxes and everyone was like, send her away.
She's not in jail because Gerard Piqué, who was her husband of many years, is now with another girl. She writes the most savage song, basically being like, I am a Porsche, now you're with a fucking like stupid car, and she's just like shitting on this girl, like old school like rap battle type shit, and people are calling her like internalized misogynist, but she's fucking pissed.
I love a diss track. I love it.
And but then like the actual video looks like it was made in one of those like Apple videos. You remember on your computer in high school how you could like make videos
like
with
the garage band thing?
Yeah,
I know
like
what you
a
mean.
little
You
different
could do like
filters.
filter. Yes.
Yeah, and you just stare at yourself for hours like talking to it.
Yep.
So it was like the whole thing was a lot. But then I looked at his Instagram, and his Instagram is just selfies
scary.
of himself.
It's so scary. If you meet a man like that and that's what his Instagram looks like, you have to run because he.
Part of me was like, don't make fun of the girl. Just be like, stop taking selfies like a creepo.
It's giving like 60-year-olds who are on Facebook.
Yes,
like that's
it's
what
given.
It gives.
My dad just got my phone. He's like, what do I post on Instagram?
I feel like,
and he's handsome, but he looks weird.
He's kind of cute, yeah. I think our generation loves petty breakups and diss tracks because at a peak time in our lives, we were in like 8th or 9th grade, that song came out that was like, do you remember that song where the guy sang it and he was like, fuck you, I don't want you back? Like,
yes,
fuck all those lies. Like that song. And then like
CeeLo Green?
I don't know.
Fuck you.
No, not that.
Oh, sorry.
Never mind. So then if you don't know it, then it's not. Other people are listening to the pod.
It wasn't the cultural revolution.
I guess it wasn't a cultural revolution.
But
whatever. I'm going to post it on the Giggly Squad Instagram and see who knows it.
But I also feel like me and you, we are not little petty. Like, I have so much shit. I have so many receipts that I will never post because I'm like trying to be above things. I feel like we're more like we're like long-term revenge.
We're big picture people.
Yes.
We're big picture. I'm not going to like comment on your Instagram or like
post something that's
or like post a quote that's like subtext about you or like
my time.
Unfollow you. Mm-mm. I am working behind the scenes. I am full manifestation.
I was in this situation with this dude. He did something very fucked up. And I was like, one day I'm going to get big enough and I'm going to go on Joe Rogan. Yeah. And I'm going to tell everyone what he did. And then I was like, if I went on Joe Rogan tomorrow, I wouldn't say it about him. I just wouldn't.
I also feel like for us, like I think it's better revenge when like you never mention the person ever again. Like we
yeah.
pull a Kim DeSorbo. Have I met you? Like you literally
That's why the Miley thing. I would never. I have too much
I
pride.
would never.
I would literally never.
I would never.
I've never even hooked up with an ex, which is like humble fucking brag.
That's crazy.
I mean,
that
British
really
Dave I
is
hooked up with,
nuts.
but we never really dated, and it was like a goodbye fuck. He was going to Australia.
It was like sweet and nice.
I was just saying goodbye with my pussy. It was like, what'd you say?
That was like a sweet and nice like hookup.
He was like, hey, I'm not gonna see you like ever again.
Yeah.
And I was like,
We should fuck.
get in here. Get in here.
I feel like every time I've ever had sex with an ex, like I've literally loathed them. And like that's why I want to have sex with them. Like
Is it because you feel like you like got him temporarily? Or do you ever feel
no,
better
I
after?
love drama. I love toxicity. Like I love
See,
like-
I don't.
Yeah, like if I like when I was single and like an ex, I always had one ex that like I always went back to. If he texted me at like 2 a.m., like I was gone. I was out of there.
I feel like you
I'm
love the
there.
drama too of your friends being like, where were you? Like you love that shit.
Yeah, like I just love pretending I'm in a movie of like, what am I gonna do? You know, he's so bad for me. And then, but like in reality, I'm like, fuck this guy. I'm not marrying him. Like
Also, you know what it is? Like when people do fucked up things to you, like friends or people you're dating, you don't feel better when you do it back or like you do something to get them back. You feel better. It's like this TikTok thing when the girl's like, oh, you're gonna fuck me over? I'm gonna study to get into your industry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna become your boss. I'm gonna fire you and then fuck your dad. Like Lady Gaga when she's like, you're not gonna go anywhere without hearing my song in every bodega you ever walk into. That's my revenge energy.
Yeah. I tell Craig all the time, if we were to ever break up, you better watch out for Sewing Up North because it's coming to stores near you. I will take your audience and your consumers like that. Like, I'm not playing.
So Kanye got married.
What the heck? I saw a quote that that in some article or something that said, it's very real to them. I was like, okay.
I actually at one point was like, where is he? We haven't heard from him in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Always up to something.
So on my TikTok, this Barstool video came up, and it was like during the time that Kanye was missing, and some guy was just like, I saw him. He was at Amangiri, like that hotel in. Yeah. So he was like living his best life and then just randomly married someone who also looks exactly like him.
Exactly like him.
Celebrities are, you never hear of like your normal friends who live down the street being like, and I got married. Like celebrities are always just going out and doing the fucking most, like legally. Like why go through all of that?
Mm-hmm.
Like all the people that get married in Vegas, I think it's so crazy. Like I know for a fact my personality is not.
I think it's because they don't have 9 to 5, so they just like get
so
in
much
their
time
head
on
for
their
too
hands.
long, and then they make up crazy ideas.
And they're like, we've literally done everything. Let's get the law involved.
No, they're chasing
and sign a
these
contract.
like crazy highs. Like his dopamine is probably donezo.
Done.
I did talk to my therapist though, and she's like, you don't have that normal 9 to 5, and if you don't have a trauma in your life, which I don't know who doesn't, but if you don't, like when you daydream, you're like, oh, what vacations do I want to go to? What am I dreaming about in life? But she's like, if you're just hanging out and you have trauma, like you go to that place, like you go to your past, like all that stuff happens.
And
So
what you want to do, it makes you want to do crazy things.
it's just like you don't have any routine and you can kind of go
like
wherever
you're
you want in your head.
you're comfortable in chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so basically I am Kanye without the anti-Semitism. But also this girl, I don't know. I mean, Julia Fox did it well. Like date him for 3 seconds. She didn't have to get married.
Julia Fox has been she's really leveraged like a 3-week stint into.
Oh my God. I
mean,
did watch
she's
Uncut
a
Gems
queen.
for the first time.
You did? How was it? I've never seen it.
It's like chaotic. She also is like so good in it.
Is she really? I need to watch it.
She's really,
it's really
likable.
anxious, like inducing though, right? Isn't it about gambling? And it's like I heard people say like if you have anxiety or like you have anxiety through the whole movie.
As a New Yorker, it's kind of just like a day in our lives, if I'm being
Oh.
honest. Like it's like Adam Sandler plays this like, you know, stressed out Jewish jeweler,
Okay.
which is like if I had a nickel for
Yeah.
like the amount of people in my life.
I
like
know
that.
so many stressed out Jewish jewelers.
He just wakes up and he's like, he goes from yelling at someone, he's yelling at someone else, he's yelling at someone else. So like I think for us, it's normal. For someone in the
Like
South, they probably were like
breakfast.
triggered by it.
It would send them into a coma.
Oh my God, speaking of people in the South, I went to Alabama, right?
Yep.
And we went to a Mexican restaurant because we live life on the edge. And we get chips and the person goes, "Do you want cheese with that?" And Des was like, "What?" And they were like, "Cheese." And he was like, "Cheese?" And I was like, "Oh, like queso dip." And they're
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, cheese." So they just offer you like a tub of queso with your
Upon
chips.
arrival?
On arrival. And Des was like, "Oh, no, thanks." And I was like, "Welcome to the South." And then when we were leaving, they were like, "Do you want a to-go cup?"
For
And he
your
was like, "What?"
drink?
Yeah, they were like, "You want to drink a little to-go cup?" Like, it's just so funny, the little cultural thing. And Des
Yeah.
was like so confused by all of it.
Yep.
They couldn't understand him. He couldn't understand them. I was laughing because I've spent a lot of time in Arkansas, so I kind of know what's going on.
I think my biggest cultural shock when like first couple of times I was down in the South, and Charleston isn't even that like deep in the South, I feel like. I was standing at like I think a Publix or whatever, a grocery store, and I was getting a sandwich made, and the lady making the sandwich was like asking how I was. And I was like,
No.
I was like, wait,
No,
what?
no.
I was like, oh, like, and like asking me like intense, like real questions that you would like ask someone, like a friend. And I was
Yeah,
just like,
"What do you do for a living? Are you
Yeah, and
are you
I was
enjoying
like-
your job?"
I was like, ma'am, I'm getting anxious that you have a line forming, okay? And you're taking your sweet ass time.
My mom made me watch HGTV last night, and this family was looking for a house, and they were like, "We have a house with a pool that's like away from everyone." And they were like, "No, we kind of want a house right in the city where we could talk to our neighbors every day." And I shut it off. I said, "I don't need this fucking propaganda in my face."
No. Craig said to me, oh my God, talk about not knowing your neighbors. Craig is putting a new fence up in the backyard, and he said, should we put a gate in the fence so that like if the neighbors want to come over, they can just go through the gate? I go, fuck you and your neighbors. No. Why
What do
would
think?
you want?
We should get hedges. That's what we
I
should.
literally
we should
said-
get hedges.
You should make this fence 7 feet and then put trees in front of it. What are you talking about? You literal
We need to make it like Fort
psychopath.
Knox. We need multiple locks.
I was like, no. I don't want anyone seeing in. If you're in, you're like, you can't leave. And if you leave, you can't come back. Like,
That is so funny because that, for people who don't know the Hamptons that well, it's literally rich New Yorkers who take their lives and they just want to get away from people. So they buy these huge mansions and put hedges that are so fucking high you
Yeah.
can't even see the mansion. So it's just, the Hamptons are just full of hedges of people being like, "Leave me alone."
there's literally nothing like a Hamptons hedge. So
but like in
funny.
New York, your neighbors know, like, as long as you don't have problems with them, it means like this is an amazing relationship.
Like, I don't want my neighbors to hate me, but I don't want to be friends with my neighbors either. Like, I want my neighbors to see me in the elevator and say, hey, and me say, hey. And, like, maybe we have a small elevator conversation, but I don't want, like, my neighbors to invite me over. Like,
Do you know the
that's
awkward
crazy.
moment when like someone walks off and you go, "Do I say have a good night?"
Yeah.
When like I will say it, but sometimes they won't say it to me, and I'm like, I would have said it for you. I would have said it for you.
Hannah, that is such a niche, like, thing that
And no
everyone
eye
thinks in their head.
contact, just like have a good
Have
night.
a good night. Yeah, like
Have a
you
good
could
night.
be
That's
on
so-
your
have a good
phone
night.
as like, and it's courtesy. And I'm a have a good night person all the
I
time.
am a total have a good night because I'll end a conversation
Yep.
like every day.
Yep. I even do it in the day. Have a good
It's
day.
almost a thank you for not
Yep.
talking to me on the elevator.
You want to know
say,
what
"Have a
else I
good night."
do? If I get in the elevator first and someone walks in behind me and I'm pushing my button, I say, "What floor?" I'll throw
Same.
you I'll push your button for you.
I will push your button.
I'm already here.
These are ways that New Yorkers show kindness.
Yes.
I don't even know how your day went. I don't need to know your family fucking tree, your
Nothing.
health.
I
Like,
want you to know.
I don't want to even talk about the weather. We know what the weather is. Why do we have to talk about it?
I just want you to know that I want you to have a good night. I don't care what it entails. Just have a good one.
A good
And
one without me involved.
Yeah. Don't involve. And if you don't have a good night, well, then that's life. You know, that's showbiz, baby. What am I supposed to do?
That's showbiz, baby.
I have a question. This is so interesting. Well, I have two things that we can talk about. Let's do the front page news thing first. Did you see Austin Butler's fake accent at the Golden Globes?
So I knew people were talking about this for a while. Was it like extra bad at the Golden Globes?
It was. It was like I think he's a method actor. And I don't think he came out of Elvis. Like, I don't think he ever came out of it.
It's giving Miley Cyrus, like, it's been over 2 years since you filmed.
It's giving full Miley Cyrus.
Also, if you're such a good actor, how are you going to get other roles when you're just Elvis now?
She was like, Elvis. And then people, okay, so here's like the real thing that people are talking about. Vanessa Hudgens and then Austin Butler dated for 10 years. Vanessa Hudgens,
no one knew because no one cared about him.
Because he wasn't famous, right. She was way more famous. I would say she's still more famous than him, but he's definitely rising.
Moment.
He's having a moment. So when they were dating, she was on, I think it was Regis, or not Regis. Oh my God, flashback. Kelly and Ryan, and she said that she was driving in the car with her boyfriend at the time, or maybe she just said Austin. And Elvis came on the radio, and she just looked at him and said, "You have to play Elvis. You're born to do this." Like, she just felt it. Now
and she manifested it.
She manifested it for him. Once again, women just coming in to save the fucking day. So then he's on a talk show, and he tells the same exact story, but instead of saying Vanessa is who said it, he says he was with a friend of his.
Yep.
Now people are so mad that he didn't say it was her and kind of like made it seem like whatever. I am very split.
Interesting.
In his defense, he has dated some of the most famous people right now. He dated Vanessa Hudgens at her peak. She was, got her right after High School Musical. He's now dating Kaya Gerber. I get in that world, if you're being interviewed and he's on a television show, not naming people involved in a story that you're telling, because it's almost like a common courtesy, like, oh, I didn't bring your name up. But because she had already told this story, this was already out there, I feel like he could have said Vanessa. He also might not have said her name because he's dating someone and... like,
out of respect to her. But also he was like telling how interesting it was that like she was the center of the story, this friend. Right.
The whole story.
Give credit where credit is due.
The crazy part about the story is that she called it. Like, she said you should be Elvis. Like,
yeah, it's not like she was a minor part of this like more important story he was telling.
Right. And then he gets a call 2 months later to audition for Elvis.
I wonder when their breakup was in terms of the Elvis movie, because it's giving Chris Pratt, Anna Faris to me.
Oh.
It's giving.
My God.
Yeah, that's what it's giving for me. It gave. I do also, I have a little empathy for him because, as you know, with interviews, like, it's so easy when someone says something and you are nervous and you have to just say a sentence that you don't say it perfectly. So like I can never get mad.
And then after that you're like, what did I just say? Like,
like you'll say someone's name and you're like fuck, or you try to be funny and you're like fuck. So like I have empathy for him with that, but I do think let's give credit where credit is due. Or maybe it was like a bad breakup and he's actually kind of like giving it to her like fuck you, I'm not going to say your name ever again.
Right. Like we don't really know their relationship when they were dating or like their breakup situation. So yeah, there's so many factors.
It's funny because it's given it more attention when he was probably trying to make it give less attention.
Yep.
But good for her. She got him. I hope she's happy. And then it was going around how Vanessa Hudgens met Kaya Gerber when Kaya Gerber was like a kid.
No. I hate that. If I was Vanessa, I'd be fucking livid.
I just think it's like it's just
so weird. It's so meta. It's so Hollywood. It's so meta.
Weird. But you know what? You can't compete with these Nepo babies. That's what I always say.
No, you can't. You can't. Nepo babies. Nope. You cannot.
They don't talk about Miley Cyrus being a Nepo baby enough.
No, they don't. She's like gotten away with it.
Her godmother is Dolly Parton. Her dad is like that famous country music star.
They talk more about Dolly Parton being her godmother, which like you could give that to literally anyone on the street.
Let's be honest, that's a made up thing.
Yeah, like you're not, but you're not related to your godparents. Like it could literally be my doorman if I wanted him to be the godfather. Yeah, no one talks about Billy Ray, but people do talk about Billy Ray Cyrus's TikTok and how freaking weird it is.
It is?
Yeah, he has like a new wife, and they're just like, they give like culty energy. Like he has super long hair, and he's like his eyes are always glassy. Like they give weird energy on their TikTok. You know when like you watch,
looked into
I've watched it. You know when you watch someone's video, or like you see someone having a conversation with your friend, and you literally, or you walk into a room and you get a feeling like a weird energy with someone, and like immediately you're just like, someone's weird with you. Like, I don't really fuck with you, I don't think. That's how I felt when I went to his TikTok. I was like, you give off energy that makes me feel icky, and I don't like it, and I have to go.
Can I give you the 2 things people have to watch?
Yes, I would love it.
Side note, not to watch, but should we like start Drag Race?
But like, where do you start?
I just feel like it's such a cultural phenomenon, and I never like started it. And I feel like there's so many references and stuff, but like people are so into it.
Like, are you saying that we should go all the way back to the very first season and start it like that, or just jump on in to whatever the new season is and watch it that way?
Look, for the gigglers who know about Drag Race, tell us what to do.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so many references to the past. Can we watch it starting off this season? I don't know. I think...
Yeah, like, is it like a Love Island where each season is totally new, you can kind of jump in?
Yeah.
Or is it like a Bravo show where you kind of have
so
to
they'll
know?
do flashbacks, but like... Oh my God, isn't Love Island starting?
I think it is. Oh my God, I got to make sure my illegal...
It's like on Netflix, I think. Or maybe that's an old one that's on Netflix.
Wait, no, that's America. Gross.
Oh, no. Yeah, I don't. Actually, I'm so off my Love Island game. Okay, you have to watch Hatchet-Wielding Hitchhiker.
Wait, I started it, and I was like, I was falling asleep, and I was like, the energy right now for me to fall asleep is too much.
No,
but this is crazy. This is nuts.
This is a wild story of the media, like how quick you could be the hero, how quick you could be the villain. But this hatchet-wielding hitchhiker basically attacks a guy with a hatchet for hurting a woman, and he gets interviewed and everyone loves him. He goes on Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
He like gets really famous. No one can find him because he's homeless.
Yeah.
They find him. I mean, he's definitely mentally ill, and I think he went through a lot of abuse as a kid, but they're trying to do a reality show with him, and he's just really cannot be controlled.
Can't be managed.
Can't be managed.
Some might say he's a
he
giggler.
like went to some like TV set and just started peeing outside it. Anyway, he ends up murdering someone. Oh shoot, was I supposed to say that?
No,
Sorry.
I feel like people knew that.
But
like, I
it is a
remember
little
when he went
controversial.
viral. I remember when he went viral.
You remember? I don't remember.
No, I just lied. I don't remember.
I was like, what?
I knew that it was an old video, but I don't remember watching the video, but I knew that it was like, it wasn't recent. Sorry for lying on the pod. Oh my God. You like knew, I feel like you knew I was lying. Like,
Yeah,
what?
but I was like, why would she
you
lie? Of all the things to lie about, why the hatchet-wielding hitchhiker?
She told us about her dirty underwear, but she's gonna lie about the hatchet-wielding hitchhiker?
But there's kind of drams because he says he was like sexually abused as a child, and it looks like this older man might have like sexually abused him. And
The guy he killed?
and murdered them.
Wait, the guy he killed used to molest him?
That's what he says.
Then, like, I think it's fine.
But some people are like, that guy would never molest anyone. But like, let's be honest. Anyone who is a molester who's still molesting is because people don't know he's a molester.
Right.
Period.
Men are the worst, aren't they, though? I mean, get it together.
So finally, the Netflix tennis documentary that we've known they've been filming all last year As someone who's not like an avid tennis fan, did you watch any of it? And what
I
were your
watched
thoughts?
the first episode because we saw that guy.
Yes, Nick Kyrgios. We watched him.
And a few takeaways. I only watched that first episode because I thought it was going to be people that I knew. Like, I didn't really know the other people that they were doing. I do want to watch that couple, though, where they both play tennis.
I was going to say, the second episode is with Matteo Berrettini, who's like the sexiest Italian.
So
who's
fucking
with
hot.
This girl who I actually played tennis growing up with, Ayla Tomljanovic. And that episode is good. You have to watch.
Okay, I'm going to watch that one. Takeaways that I felt really bad for the Nick guy, and I feel like they make him seem like he's such a like asshole, but I feel like he's not. But how does he not have a coach?
That's like, he can't be managed.
And also, if you're a tennis girlfriend, that is your occupation. You are a tennis girlfriend.
Literally, these girls hold down their mans. Like, I was watching it and I'm like, I could never. Like, I could literally never.
I could
As
never.
a tennis player, like when you lose, like even like if you're a fucking like basketball player, you're like, yeah, my team lost, whatever. As a tennis player, when you lose, you're a fucking loser. You didn't make money for your family. You just spent all this money to travel. You fucking lost. Like, you're not in a good mood. And even the couples, they were like, what's it like to date? And the girl was like, let's just say that when we're both winning, it's a lot better. Because then imagine he's winning, you're losing, and you have to be supportive of him. But these other girls, Colleen and Morgan, who are dating guys on the tour, and now Paige Lorenz is.
Yep.
Paige is living her whole life, but these other girls are just traveling with their men, because then you'll never see him. They travel every week of the year. So you just travel with them. He was like, she's just there to make sure like life is as easy as possible for me.
I feel like the girlfriends,
my job is to make life more difficult for Des. That's how we get excitement.
Like the girlfriends have a lot of pressure to, one, give them normalcy, two, put up with whatever mood they might come out of. Like, that's a lot of anxiety and stress.
Because they're dealing with so much pressure and you're not. So you kind of just have to like, none of your emotions matter. You just have to be there for them. And I couldn't do it. It's not my mood. No. It's not my thing. But if you don't know tennis, I think it's a kind of like, it didn't show tennis like it was that exciting in my opinion, but it was a good way to at least like understand tennis a little and you have some respect for it. And people who don't know tennis that well send me texts being like, it was a cool documentary. For people who know tennis, we were a little disappointed.
Interesting.
Because like right now I have the tennis channel on. Like I always have the tennis channel on in my apartment. I've watched all these matches. So I thought the documentary was going to be about like more behind the scenes, and they literally
like,
were just
what
like
do you think that
playing
they focus,
the matches.
Yeah, they focus too much on like
they focus too much on these matches when I'm like, I like Tennis Channel could have done a year summary and it felt similar. Also, someone argued like tennis, it's all happening in your head. It's not like it's not like a team where you're like, get together and they're all yelling at each other. The coach is not allowed to coach. So you just see it's a puff piece on the players. They go hey, like it's really hard to get here. Yeah. But also you're talking to the top 10 players in the world, top 20. One of my friends who's on the tour was like, you know, it'd be so much more fucking interesting getting the top 300 player who can't make enough money to travel, can't pay for coaches, doesn't have a massage therapist with them, and they're trying to survive and question the purpose of life. Like, that's fucking interesting.
I feel like I need an on-call massage therapist.
After every match, they just lie down and they get work done. They're getting work done.
Love that.
Yeah. But then it's hard for these lower players to even compete with these higher players because they don't have the finances, whatever. That's like a whole nother story. But long story short, every episode, you get introduced to a player. They're doing one of these big tournaments. You see like one cute scene with their family, and
you wanted more. You wanted more reality TV aspect of it. Like you wanted more documentary.
And I don't even need the drama. I just wanted more in depth. Like they showed, honestly, the Kyrgios episode and the next episode are the most interesting. And then it kind of, for someone who knows what happens, and then they skipped like very good drama. Like, there's one match where the players apparently had a fight in the locker room and they just skipped it because like these players are not going to sign off on that. It's a puff piece for tennis. Got it. But I also feel like they didn't even go in depth. They were like, this is how the rules are.
But I did see one clip from the couple that was dating, and I saw them walk into their hotel room and it looked
a mess. And
I was like, there's no way they didn't fight about this. Like, there's no way he wasn't like, get your shit out of here.
So the couple, they walk in after a day of tennis and they're like, it's who was the last one here? It's so messy. When I'm like, this is not one person who just fucking
It's
like
not
lost
like
their shit.
who didn't shut the door. It's like, yeah.
I was like, this is Sierra's bed times 10.
Yeah, this is after weeks.
So they were like, I think it was you. And he's like, no, it was you. And then they're like, we'll clean it later. And then they go, do you want to watch tennis or a movie? So it's so like, that was cute. Like, it's very like relatable. And he's like, I'll watch a movie. And she's like, what? Let's watch The Holiday. And he goes, no, that's romantic. You said you like comedy or horrors. And she goes, it's a romantic comedy. And he's like, fine. So that was the biggest fight.
Yeah, that's not what fucking happened. That's so just not what happened.
I wrote on my Instagram people should watch it because it brings tennis at least a little more into the forefront.
Yeah.
But it doesn't show you like how hard it was for these players to get to this point. It doesn't show like how their life changed. One girl opens up about depression, but I'm like, if I had a nickel, like all of them tennis players are lonely.
I think we need a hat that says if I had a nickel. Like
Des today goes, what's with the I had a nickel? Why are you saying this all the time? And I was like, I guess
it's so relatable in so many things. Like, yeah, okay, you're being dramatic. Like, if I had a nickel for every time that's happened to me, and I haven't said anything.
If I had a dollar, is that the original? Or like if I had a nickel?
I think it's if I had a penny.
If I had a penny. And then I started saying if I had a nickel. Yeah, Des was like, why are we doing this?
Nickel is a great word in general.
Nickel just feels good off the tongue.
Yeah, if I had a nickel.
So anyway, I recommend that everyone watches it. For someone who watched the tennis season last year and know what fucking happened, I didn't think the documentary was going to just be a review of all these tournaments. And I just wanted a little more in depth, but it was a puff piece on the players, and I respect that for their privacy and shit. Honestly, I would rather have done like a full thing on Kyrgios.
Yep.
Or it ended up being like everyone losing to Nadal, and people were like, can we just have a Nadal documentary?
Also, I like his swag. He has like he has like basketball player swag as a tennis player.
Kyrgios?
Yeah.
The good news is there's really hot guys in the documentary. I think Casper Ruud's really hot. Matteo Berrettini's really hot. So it's good like to put on just for aesthetics.
Wait, how about blast from the past Andy Roddick?
Oh yeah, he's been through some shit. But he's great. He's a great commentator.
Yeah. I forgot about him.
The actual tennis players are disappointed, but it's great for the game.
Okay. Small step for whatever. Yeah, like whatever that's it. Yep.
Wait, we're going to Charleston this weekend.
We're going to Charleston this weekend, but before that, we're going to Durham, North Carolina, which is sold out, and Charlotte, North Carolina on Friday, which I think there's maybe a few tickets left.
There's like random just check to see, because sometimes they randomly release tickets.
And also, I'm going to say this. I have a lot of girls that will DM me that either bought tickets, like a single tickets, or bought tickets and their friend can't go or whatever, and want to know if it's weird to go to Giggly Squad alone. It is the least weird place to go alone. A lot of people go alone, and you're sitting in a theater watching a show. And laughing. If you don't want to talk to your neighbor, we would never pressure you to talk to your neighbor. But it is not a weird thing to go to alone, because then once it's over, you literally walk out, get in your car, and go home. Like, it's fun.
But I also would argue like you will make friends against your will, because you immediately all have the same sense of humor. And everyone is drunk.
And there are a lot of girls that will come up to us and say that they made friends with like their entire row. Yeah. Because like we're all the same. So it is fun.
I'm so excited. We're on tour. And also we're going to be in Charleston. And I've never experienced Charleston through you and Craig's eyes. So I'm excited for that experience.
Well, I stay in the house and I don't go anywhere. So we can, and that's
okay. So we're watching Love Island.
Yeah,
Got it.
So we're literally starting Love Island, making our own tennis documentary.
Well, thank you for giggling with us, guys. We love you. Talk to you later. Bye.